If you lived in a world full of horrifying demons, what would you do? You've just been given terrifying chainsaw powers from hell, and every demon in the world will now try to hunt you down and kill you. I'm going to break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat the hell monsters in Chainsaw Man. This kid is going to die and come back to life as a horrifying demon. Denji here is in big trouble. His dad has just died, and he also owes money to the Yakuza, not having anyone else. Denji is forced to take on his father's debt, getting a job as an illegal bounty hunter that hunts horrifying monsters. He becomes a demon hunter. He gets up one day to go to work along with his pet demon called Pochita, and these two get together to take out this monster. And Denji uses Pochita as a chainsaw after he barely gets enough money due to all the debt that his father owes. Depressed, all Denji wants is to be free from this life and to finally get a girlfriend. Oh, that's so sad. Reaching home, he realizes that he doesn't have enough money for peanut butter and jam, and him and Pochita share one piece of sad toast before bed. But that's when he gets a knock on his door. It's the boss of the Yakuza, and they have another job for him. They drive him to this super shady warehouse, but Denji doesn't see no demon in sight. It's strange, and he begins to think that something is up. The old man then stops and reveals to Denji the best news for the Yakuza. He tells Denji that there's been a change of plans. He now needs to die. Denji then gets stabbed in the back and collapses, confused as hell. A devil then comes out of the shadows, known as a zombie devil. It reveals to Denji that all the Yakuza's minds are now being controlled by this devil, and it has turned all of them into horrifying, willing zombie prisoners. Turns out selling your soul for power is a very popular thing among criminals. Badly injured, Denji tries to escape, but the zombies catch him and stab him to death. That's it? Wow, that's a short season. Okay, Denji here is in a world full of shit. Basically, in this world, people's fears can turn into devils. If guns seem scary to you, there's probably a gun devil out there somewhere. Scared of knives? There's a knife devil too. Jokes aside, these real devils can possess dead bodies and can make deals with humans via sacrifice of some kind. And right now, Denji being led into this situation is entirely his fault. The year is 1997, which means that Japan's money lending problem during this time period would have been a huge problem. Police aren't enforcing the laws, and Japan right now is a heaven on earth for loan sharks. And did you all know an estimated 25% of these loan sharks have ties to the Yakuza? Denji's father owed about $278,000. Whew, that's a large amount. Let's make it worse. In 2023, it would come to the tune of $518,188. Oh, that's a lot of money. And now we have to pay it back since our daddy is dead and he just made our lives way more hard. But one thing that we should have noticed way sooner was the fact that we were never going to be able to pay the Yakuza back anyways, thanks to something called high compound interest. That is when you pay a monthly fee for borrowing money. So whatever amount we owed to the Yakuza, each month that we failed to pay them back, they tax us additional money on top of it as a consequence. My father's loan was likely not super high to begin with, but because of this, the amount that we now owe has gone over 10 times the original. And this would keep happening and not stop. We should have started planning for ways to escape long ago. And one very easy method that we could have done would have been to run away. But instead, he chose to be clueless until the very end and proved to be useless as a man. Like father, like son, I guess. Denji's corpse and a now very dead Pochita are thrown into the trash, and blood spills from Denji into his demon dog's mouth, bringing it back to life. It then quickly uses its powers to enter Denji's mind and offers his soul a deal. It will give its demon heart to Denji if he promises to live a better life from now on and show Pochita Denji's dream. Denji agrees and wakes up suddenly, all healed and good as new, but something has changed. He then notices a string hanging from his chest and now realizes that he has the powers of his dog. The zombie devil then sees Denji alive and orders his zombie army to attack him. Denji quickly pulls his string on his chest, but nothing happens, and he quickly gets overrun. The zombie devil thinks it's over, but that's when he hears a rumbling motor sound, and it gets louder. Denji then bursts out, transformed into Chainsaw Man. Oh, frick yeah! Let's cut up some zombies! Sorry, I got a little excited. Moving on. He starts brutally cutting up all of these zombies. He quickly reaches the zombie devil and cuts him in half, slicing through this bad guy's brain and killing him dead. His devil side taking over. This kid quickly loses control and goes full-on psycho, killing everything in his sight. The sun rises and some mysterious people appear. Finding all the zombies dead, somebody got to them early. This woman carefully approaches Denji and sees him transform back into a human. This lady, can tell that this kid is something rare. He is a demon hybrid, and she offers him two options. Denji can come work for her organization, a company that specializes in devil hunting, or he can die right here. Suspicious. He asks her if he can have toast for breakfast, and she tells him that he can have toast, jam, and whatever else he'd like, and he'll be well taken care of if he joins her. Denji then smiles wide and agrees to work for her, but only if she promises he can also play Honkai Star Rail. This free-to-play RPG from HoYoverse, the makers of Genshin Impact, will send you on this out-of-this-world experience where you and your senses can embark on immersive sci-fi adventures, meet acquaintances with captivating backstories, and save the world along the way. This RPG is for everyone to play anytime and anywhere while enjoying the star-studded voice cast with 4 different languages. On the go, no problem. Honkai Star Rail is a multi-platform game that can be played on PC or mobile, so you'll never have to step off the interstellar train called the Astral Express. Meet dozens of extraordinary characters with magnificent outfits and lifelike expressions that suit your unique personal style, while you battle through a universe that spans thousands of years. You'll never get bored. As a trailblazer, you can journey through a sci-fi world that's packed with in-game lore and multiple side stories. Rally and develop the combat skills of an intimidating team to battle alongside of. Expect orbital cannons, ice walls, full-fledged armies, and much more in this alluring anime-style RPG. Reach the end of the universe, and you'll be rewarded with learning the truth about yourself. Can't wait to join in on the breathtaking adventure with beautiful animations and music this RPG promises? The release date has finally been announced. The game is coming April 26th. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Pre-register in the link in my description down below. Thank you for our sponsor for today's video, Honkai Star Rail. Okay, this is wild, because while we don't know who this chick is yet, we know what she does. She is known as a public safety devil hunter, basically the legal version of what we were getting paid to do earlier by the Yakuza. She works for organizations that deal with devil hunting at a government level, and due to the threat of devils in this country, the scary ultimatum that this chick gave Denji is not that uncommon, because these people now know that Denji is part devil, and now means that he'll be placed on a watch list best case, or end up dying worst case, or even more worst case, end up being a lab rat for the rest of his days, because the government is not going to let him roam free. Oh no, no, no. Despite him not having much to lose, he needs to think carefully about the consequences of what just happened. Just like the Yakuza, if he doesn't help the government in some way, he's dead. If he tries to run away, he's dead too. Right now, if I was Denji, I would agree to work with this crazy lady, but with the goal of learning everything there is to know about being a legal devil hunter, so I could become indispensable to the organization. I would also be on high alert and test the waters in terms of finding out what the exact terms of my service are, and if I can provide some minor pushback, getting my way in some areas before they get my contract down in writing, because make no mistake, the government goes after only the most horrifying devils, and they are far more dangerous than anything we've ever faced. And that means I need some assurance that I'll be able to get a deal that benefits me or protects me in some way against what's to come, because doing anything for an attractive woman, it's a horrible move, but it happens to the best of us. And because our devil secret has already been spotted, this means we have little options other than to roll with the punches. They get in this girl's car, and Denji tells her his story, and she introduces herself as Makima and tells him that a human merging with a devil is incredibly rare. She's never seen a hybrid as perfect as Denji. He thinks she's being nice, just as she tells him something messed up. Now, under her care, she only needs a yes man, someone who will do whatever she wants whenever she wants, and he can never say no. She tells Denji to say "Woof" if he understands the job, and treats him like a pet. He begins to get angry, but tries to calm down, just as she politely offers Denji her jacket. Shocked at someone finally being nice to him, he starts to feel something weird in his chest, and realizes that he might be falling in love with this terrifying woman that he barely knows, and that is his biggest mistake. Okay, we have a serious problem, because at this point it's clear that Denji's little mind is taking him places that we don't want to go. Denji's had it hard his whole life, and now for the first time in a long while, somebody's nice to him, and he's now developed a freaking Stockholm Syndrome in the span of 5 minutes. This is a big problem. Based on how she treated him when she first saw him, she basically said she wanted a minion, a little grunt that would do whatever she wants, even treating Denji like a pet. I mean, she told him to say woof. This means that she sees Denji as beneath her, and this kid is likely about to get turned into a human pet. Yeah, nasty. And the most horrifying part about this situation is one that Denji could have benefited the most from. Makima here was as calm as a cucumber when she interacted with Denji. Despite being a human herself, she has no soul, and this means that she likely has full faith in herself and her abilities, and that means her guard is down, because it has no reason to be. She's the boss, and she thinks she has all the cards. No, 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 no. Because of this, I would think she has a super high ego. I would begin to look at this woman very critically instead of just drooling all over her like Denji is, because there is a way that we can turn this around. It's clear that this woman has a great interest in Denji and thinks that he's something special, and we can use her interest in him to his advantage. Remember, we're not trying to seduce her because we want to. We're doing it because our life depends on it. They head to Makima's office, and she tells Denji that he will now be a part part of an experimental devil hunting crew and introduces Denji to the rest of his teammates. This man named Aki, aka Samurai Jack Wannabe. Makima tells him that this guy has been assigned to show him the ropes, but Aki has other plans. Taking him out onto the streets, Aki leads Denji down this alley and suddenly beats him to a pulp. He tells Denji that he knows that he's got the hots for Makima and that Denji doesn't take this job seriously. He tells Denji that he should just quit, but Denji is determined to score with this chick so bad and quickly hits Aki right in the onigiris. Denji tells Aki that he'll do anything to get some female attention. Oh, it's so true. And that he wants to have a better life. He carries an injured Aki back to the office and tells Makima that he was attacked by the Nut Devil. Makima laughs it off and tells Aki that Denji is officially joining their special unit. But if he tries to run or quit, he will be killed. She tells Denji that he'll be living with Aki from now on and will work for her until he dies of old age or dies in line of duty. One or the other. The next day, Denji starts his official day at work with Aki, and the two go to their very first case, hitting up this house. They head inside and look for a devil. Aki explains to Denji that this devil is known as a fiend, which is when a devil takes control of a human corpse. Heading to the second floor, they see the devil fiend, and Aki tells Denji to handle it. The devil charges at Denji, but he simply chops its head off with his axe, and Denji doesn't use his devil powers. Confused, Aki tells Denji that he should have used his powers whenever he can to brutally slaughter every devil he sees and make them scream in horror. Denji tells Aki that he prefers to kill devils only if it's quick and painless. Okay, while this may seem like just another regular day at the devil hunting office, Denji is in a lot more shit than he thinks. Aki's more horrifying than any devil that I'm probably going to meet if I was Denji. I gotta pay attention to this. Not only did my partner just tell me to take out this devil as if I were his personal servant, his personal lapdog, but if we notice, Aki told us to use our devil powers every chance we get. Now, while that may seem logical, fighting devil with devil, this move actually makes no sense, because Denji told him earlier that he loses control when he goes full devil mode, and this means that turning into a devil more frequently will up the chances that he messes up. And if I'm Denji, I now know that most of the devil cases are in the city, populated with millions of people. This makes going after devils and the goal of avoiding collateral damage even more important, because if Denji harms one too many people in the pursuit of hunting down a devil, wouldn't that then no doubt cause some problems for him with the higher-ups in the devil hunting division? Killing civilians would also bring about bad press to Makima's division, and remember, this is the government that we work for, not a private sector, and means that public opinion here is going to matter in terms of how our devil hunting branch is perceived by the general public. If I'm Denji, walking a tightrope between killing as many devils as I can and also needing to be very careful and low-key about how I go about it. And to top it off, what Makima told us in that very first day in her office, she said that this unit is an experimental unit. This means that them fighting with a devil on their side is kind of a newer thing, which makes it all the more reason that we set a good example and don't mess this up, because all eyes are going to be on us. This is why Aki freaks me out so much, way more than the devils I'm going to face, because he has an agenda and will try and get me to mess up and get myself killed, either by devils or by the government sooner or later. Now, while in theory I could try and persuade him into getting onto my side of things, but from the looks of it, it's unlikely that I'll ever be able to make him come over to my side anytime soon. Angry, Aki tells him that he needs to treat devils like cockroaches. He reveals that his whole family was killed by devils and tells Denji that he needs to get serious about this job now. But the only thing that Denji wants to get serious about is how to seduce Makima, and begins planning right there and then on how to win her attention. Later, back at demon hunting headquarters, Makima tells Denji that he's been assigned a new partner, this girl named Power, who is a devil fiend. Makima tells both these two that they're still under probation. If they don't produce results soon, they will both be killed. So what do? The two superpowered recruits go on patrol, and Denji realizes that this girl is hot and also batshit crazy. Power then smells devil blood and rushes off to chase the scent. Chasing after her, Denji sees this terrifying sea cucumber devil. Hungry for bloodshed, she jumps down and absolutely crushes this devil's body, laughing like a total nutjob as she does it. Later, Makima arrives at the scene and tells these two that they've caused too much attention, and they need to be more subtle with their killing of devils or else they'll be terminated. Annoyed, the two after work go to get a drink. Power then asks Denji how he can put up with so much crap from the humans, but Denji tells her that he's now living living his best life. But the only thing missing for him is some female attention. Power then smiles and offers Denji the best proposal of his entire life. She reveals to him that a certain cat of hers has been recently stolen by a terrifying devil bat, but if he helps her get her cat back, she'll let him cop a you-know-what. Denji is shocked but then gets super happy, and he prepares for the most important mission of his life. Taking a bus, they soon arrive at this cabin, and Power tells Denji that the devil bat is right inside. They walk up to it, but out of nowhere, Denji senses that something is wrong and tries to react, but Power quickly knocks him out and drags him inside the house. Inside, he is shocked and sees Power's cat is being held hostage, but realizes that he is not here to save anyone but to be currency for Power and to be this devil's next meal, and the monster prepares to eat him. Man, this is just like deja vu all over again. Denji here, yet again, thinking with his if you know what I mean, because Power basically tricked the crap out of Denji into saving her cat and then sacrificed him to the devil bat. Nice. She tricked him and baited him by taking advantage of the one human trait that people greatly underestimate. According to the basics of psychology and human nature, humans are naturally stubborn and will rarely do what you ask. However, the most effective way to bypass their natural resistance is to hit their weak point, a part of themselves that they have the least control over, which is their desire for pleasure. Most people in the world go through an average life, and that's why this crap works so well for manipulation. Denji wanted something that was out of the ordinary of his horrible life, something new and exciting, and wanted to get some nom-noms. Power took advantage of Denji's ultimate desire and led him along like a fish, hook, line, and sinker. But the thing is, Denji could have spotted 4 signs that suggested that Power was full of crap right from the beginning. 1, if I'm Denji, I'm suspicious of Power, because she would have known what we were just like her, alone with no one to turn to. She would have known that we would probably believe her story since we don't have anyone else to give us a second opinion. And even before we left to go save her cat, we had to check her out of the office like she were a library book. And this, I would think, would give us a pretty early indication of how unpredictable and volatile she really is. Because remember, back in the bus, if we noticed during that time period, Power's attitude and body language subtly changed. She went from being very worked up and emotional in the beginning to all of a sudden having a very stern face with a very relaxed body language. Because while at this point there's no guarantee we would save her cat, but why would she change her body language so suddenly? Power's story was likely real, but there's something else going on that she wasn't telling us. Because oftentimes the best lies are the ones rooted in truth. The bad devil picks Denji up and takes a bite out of him, but that's when he realizes that Denji is not a pure human. Angry, he takes Power's cat and eats her cat right in front of Power. Shocked and surprisingly, just from a cat, the bat tells her that it now has enough energy to go and kill the rest of the city. Man, how much protein was in that cat? Anyways, it prepares to fly away, but Denji quickly jumps up and grabs onto its legs. Quickly turning into Chainsaw Man, he slices the bat's wings right off of him, causing the both of them to fall from the sky and onto the city streets. Denji quickly charges at this monster, and he manages to critically injure the devil and cuts through its guts. He saves Power and her cat, and she asks him why he tried to save her, and he points to his mission objective, to Kappa you-know-what. Power rolls her eyes, but agrees to let Denji get his reward, and he gets ready for the greatest day of his life, but suddenly his pervy hand gets chopped off, and he freaks out and sees his bloody hand get picked up by another monster. It's the Leech Devil. Denji quickly protects Power and tries to turn into Chainsaw Man, but that's when he realizes that he can't complete his transformation. He's out of gas. He's lost too much blood. The Leech Devil reveals that the bad devil was her boyfriend, and now they all must die. Okay, all these tentacles and things are starting to make me think that this anime is turning into one of those other types of animes, if you know what I mean. This creature is known as the Leech Devil. The scary thing about this is that its tongue has the ability to pierce through bodies. If its tongue can do that, I can't imagine what the rest of its limbs could do. I would imagine it would royally fudge up Denji even more so. At this point, he's lost one of his hands, and due to the blood loss means he can't change into his devil form. Limb loss from this area specifically means that significant arteries like the radial and ulnar arteries have been severed, and in a normal human being could cause someone to bleed out within 5 to 10 minutes. This could help explain why such a small injury could cause Denji to run out of blood so quickly. But while the situation may seem hopeless for our hero, there are a few things that he could have done better. If I was him, I would 1, look to the 2 perfect living blood bags that we have sitting behind us, because one can't move and the other one is a cat in a cage. I mean, come on, it's like taking candy from a baby, and who even does that? Being the devils that we are, it means that it's entirely possible that we could supplement our own blood loss by taking a cheeky little bite out of Power herself, and maybe even take a bite out of the cat if we're feeling frisky enough. It's noted that when the bad devil took a bite out of Denji, it commented on how disgusting Denji tasted. This means that probably devil blood is not as tasty as pineapple on pizza. If we really wanted to use our backup blood supply, by fueling up and regaining all of our powers in this situation is important, as this Leech Devil didn't really show up by accident, but out of anger and wanting revenge. Yeah, that's right, this Leech Devil was the bad devil's boo-boo, and now is out to kill us as payback. We need all the power we can, because this leech is pissed. Denji quickly dodges her strikes and tries to fight back, but it's hopeless. He's too weak. He tries to scale up her body and charge through the smoke, jumping in the air, and he attacks her from above, getting stabbed through the stomach. The Leech Devil prepares to eat him. When Aki arrives at the scene, how convenient. With a trick up his sleeve, he calls upon the Fox Devil, and it instantly kills the Leech Devil. Look at that thing, it's awesome. Later, Denji wakes up in the hospital. He's had his arm reattached thanks to his devil powers. Suspicious of Aki, he asks him if he's a devil hybrid as well, but Aki tells him that devil hunters sometimes make contracts with other devils, and this contract allows them to use a devil's power in exchange for something of theirs that causes them pain, like trading an eye for a devil's power or a piece of flesh. Aki then asks Denji how they ran into the bad devil and thinks that Power was up to some funny business. Okay, while this situation may not seem like a big deal, right now Denji is at a point where he could screw a friend over or gain a very important ally, which could help him out big time. The truth is, if I was Denji, I did get set up by Power. She did it out of desperation, to be fair, for a cat, meaning that there's still a chance that I could trust her if I helped her out this time, because then she would owe me one, and by saving her ass right now would really put me on good terms with her. So maybe I would present Aki with one of two responses as to what just happened out in the field. One, I would tell him a rough overview of what happened that is rooted in truth, highlighting certain truths while leaving out certain moments. I could tell him that we were out hunting demons unsupervised, and that's when Power caught the scent of a demon, which we followed and discovered that it was holding a random cat hostage. I know, weird, right? But Power, being a huge fan of cats, at this point freaked out and tried to save the cat, and me hating bats because I'm like, ugh, nasty. I hate bats with all of my being, so I also joined in on the fight. But that's when the bat ate the cat and shit went south, and we ended up having to chase it down, and that's when the worm came over, and then yada yada. And yeah, I would then throw off any suspicions that Aki might have that I'm protecting Power by making fun of her cat addiction and by asking Aki why he set me up with such an unstable weirdo. By phrasing the story of what happened in this way, we could highlight the fact that we did technically break the rules by going out to demon hunt without permission and got screwed as a result. But we could keep the true origin of why we were there in the first place under wraps, because if anyone finds out that Power was basically working with a demon behind our backs, I'm pretty sure she would get fired, though more likely killed. And we might even get dragged along as well, which is definitely not the plan for me. Denji tells Aki that he doesn't know how they ran into the bad devil. Starting to like him, Aki lets Denji off the hook only if he promises to listen to his orders from now on. Right. And Denji agrees. Heading back to HQ, Aki makes a report to Makima about the day's events, and she begins to suspect that Aki has gone soft on Denji, but Aki shrugs it off. The next day, Denji and Aki discover the most horrifying news and find out that Power has been sent to live with them. It's a nightmare. And Aki gets a call from Makima telling him that keeping an eye on Power 24/7 and Denji will benefit everyone long term. Right. Later in the day, Denji tries to clean the toilet when Power shows up, and he's annoyed and asks her what does she want, but that's when she tells him that it's now time to complete his mission objective. Wink wink. And Denji begins to sweat a little bit. Denji does the thing and has the time of his life and is now a changed man. And now with one of his life's missions now complete, he begins to get a little bit sad and heads into the office the next day to meet Makima. She asks him what's wrong, and he tells her that he's finally achieved one of his goals last night, but the reward wasn't as epic as he thought it'd be. Bummer. Makima suddenly grabs Denji's hand and tells him that the experience will be better if Denji has fun with someone that he truly likes instead. Things get a little weird, and Denji, oddly enough, likes it a lot and is stuck in her trance. And that's when she asks Denji for a favor, and she tells him that she wants him to defeat the Gun Devil, a terrifying monster that has the power to kill millions of people in minutes. She shows him pieces of the Gun Devil in this box, stray bullets left behind at different crime scenes by the Gun Devil. She tells him that these bullets vibrate when they are in close proximity to the Gun Devil or one of his other bullets. The more bullets they connect, the closer they'll be to finding this terrifying devil. Denji gets a little nervous, but she tells him that she thinks he has what it takes and makes him an offer that he can't refuse. Hint hint, wink wink. If he completes this mission as a reward, she'll do whatever Denji wants. He gets super excited and tells her that he's been preparing for this day his entire really short life. Later, they get a call that an eyewitness has spotted a devil in a nearby hotel, but the eyewitnesses have now gone missing. Suspicious, Denji's crew rushes over to the devil location, carrying with them the bullets from the Gun Devil, and they start start to vibrate near this hotel, and Aki thinks their mission is in there. But this spiky hair guy still doesn't trust Denji and demands that he leaves the group, and Aki tells him that they need his powers, because whatever devil is in this hotel is extremely powerful. Eye Patch Girl here then tries to calm everyone down by announcing that whoever kills this devil will get a French kiss from her. And that's when Denji charges in, motivated as hell, because why wouldn't he be? And that was his biggest mistake. Entering the building, they investigate this corridor, but suddenly this door opens up, and a small devil then appears and tries to attack them, but it easily gets slaughtered. Spiky hair guy thinks that this mission will now be a piece of cake, but he has no idea how wrong he is. The group then heads up to the 8th floor, but that's when they realize that they've already been here before. Concerned, they try to assess the situation, but it doesn't look good. All the floors lead to the 8th floor, and all the rooms and windows don't lead outside. The gang realizes that they've now become stuck in some sort of frozen time loop or another dimension. And some of the weaker members begin to freak out, and Aki tries to calm them down. Hours pass, but no one is able to find a way out, and everyone begins to get a little bit desperate. Aki reports back to the group with bad news and tells them that the devil they killed earlier has now grown into something horrifying. The group rushes out to see it for themselves, shocked. They've never seen a devil like this before, and with no way out, this devil tells the group that it will let them out of this nightmare. For a price, it wants Denji, and asks this group to hand him over so it can kill Denji right where he stands, because it wants to feed on his blood. It needs to feed on his blood. The group stands still in horror, but right behind Denji, a door quietly opens up. This girl, we'll call her Hair Clip Girl, comes out holding a knife. She's at her breaking point and apologizes to Denji. Suddenly, she charges at him, and Aki deflects her knife, and she gets knocked out. Aki realizes that he can't call on his fox devil, so Eye Patch Girl uses her ghost powers to harm this devil, but that was her biggest mistake. Suddenly, this monster cries out in pain and begins to grow in size, forcing them to back up, and the group freaks out and realizes that they're running out of hallway. The devil tells them that no matter how much they harm it, its heart, its weak point is not on this floor. Okay, these guys are probably in the worst situation they'll ever be in, and what they're up against is no joke. This ugly bastard is known as the Eternity Devil. It has the power to turn any area of reality into looped sections of three-dimensional space, making any escape impossible, and this area basically becomes part of the devil's stomach. And within its stomach, it can do basically anything it wants, including freezing time and creating evil monsters that can torment and kill anyone trapped within. But while this devil is not to be messed with, these devil hunters really have no one to blame but themselves, because they came in unprepared as hell. It's mentioned that eyewitnesses who reported about this devil in the first place went missing. That should have been their first clue that something fishy is going on, cause yeah, no kidding. Since without the eyewitness present, there was no way for the devil hunters to be able to confirm this story. Now, while this could have been seen as simple bait to lure the devil hunters into this hotel, and on top of that, the guests in the hotel were reported to be unaccounted for as well. If I were these hunters, I would have first tried to do a little bit more preparation before going in. I mean, it's not that hard to check out at least the outside of the building a little bit more. I would have tried at the very least to assess what kind of danger we're heading into, because these guys certainly didn't do shit. It's the late 90s, which means that the use of security cameras have already existed, meaning that average establishments or businesses like a hotel definitely would have had some. The group should have used this tech first to get a timeline of what the hell went wrong and when. They didn't even bother to check if this place had cameras in the first place. And remember, this isn't just a bunch of police entering a dangerous situation. This is a world full of devils and magical powers and crazy shit that makes absolutely no sense. The final factor that could have given them a clue as to what they were up against was the reoccurring appearance of the number 8. I mean, check it out, look at this. They were trapped on the 8th floor and saw the frozen time as being stuck at 8:18. The visual similarity of 8 to the infinity symbol could have clued them in as to what they were about to face was the Eternity Devil. But fortunately, the one advantage they still have up their sleeve, as long as they don't kill off Denji, is Denji himself, because this devil hasn't tried to kill him yet. It wants them to hand him over to it. This means that, like I said, this devil really fears Denji for some reason and doesn't want to get into a fair fight against him at all, and that is something that they should have keyed in on and something that they could use. Spiky hair guy here then gets convinced that they must kill Denji, but Aki and Eye Patch Girl refuse, and then the hours pass by and things begin to wear on them a little bit, and Eye Patch Girl begins to change her mind. Just then, Hair Clip Girl begins to freak out again and starts to go crazy. Her fear causes the devil to get stronger and grow even faster, forcing the group to run for the final time, hungrier than ever. The devil flips the hallway and now has this group dead to rights. Everybody is now desperate, and then Eye Patch Girl uses her ghost hand to trap Aki, and the rest of the group pins Denji down and prepares to kill him, and Hair Clip Girl charges at him, but Aki manages to save Denji's life, getting stabbed. This shocks the whole group, and Aki tells everyone that they'll need Denji's help to kill the Gun Devil, the world's most horrifying devil, and it's only a matter of time before they find him. They need Denji, and Denji finally realizes that he has something to do, and offers to sacrifice himself to this devil, but not without taking it down with him. He tells Eye Patch Girl that he owes her that kiss if he makes it out alive, and he looks down at the darkness and the horror beneath him. He pulls his chest string and prepares to turn into Chainsaw Man, jumping off into the empty bowels of this devil's body. But what do you guys think about the video? Let us know what you like about it and what you didn't like about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and as always, don't forget to check out our How to Be playlist.